Hi there, folks. So I received the following. I used to feel excited about my work, but lately I find I'm exhausted and unmotivated. I feel like I'm drowning in my responsibilities, both at home and work. What can I do? So this does sound like you've got burnout, and let's look at an analogy around burnout. So let's talk money first. We've got this bank account with money in, but what can happen is without paying attention or being aware, we can be spending our money. And we're not really looking at how we're spending it. And most importantly, we're not looking at what's coming into our bank account, and we end up overdrawn. We end up in debt. And this is what burnout is from an energetic point of view. Our energy, we've been spending it without paying attention to how we spend it. And most importantly, we are not allowing ourselves to increase our own energy, work with our own energy, and we end up in debt. We're spending more than what we've got. And energetically, we are overdrawn. So how do we work with it? Well, the first thing is when you start working with reclaiming some of that energy, reclaiming that power to balance the energetic book, so to speak, requires energy. And because you're already exhausted and overwhelmed, you might need to get some external support to assist you, to leverage off that energy. And that might require you may need to go and talk to a loved one or a close friend or family, or you might even need to go and see a therapist to help you. But together, what you'd like to do, if you have got that support, is to answer these three questions. The first question is, where's my energy going and why? The why is really important because that shines a light on those limiting beliefs that can influence our behavior, which results in this overdrawn energy. For example, you might notice that you're spending your energy in that area because you are a people pleaser. You feel this inauthentic guilt and you cannot say no. You might end up hosting all the family functions or doing more for the school for your children than what other parents are doing. Or you might end up working late hours because you're afraid that you might lose your job if you don't. And as you understand these whys, it gives you an idea of what you're up against when you start reclaiming power, what you've got to push through, those limiting belief systems, those fear barriers. Now, the second question you would also look at is, where should I be prioritizing my energy? And the first priority is you. Again, there's a limiting belief there that says to us, no, you mustn't prioritize yourself. That's selfish. You've got to be there for everybody else. So it is about prioritizing yourself first, giving yourself time out to reclaim some of that energy, which we'll look at shortly. And yes, in terms of the bigger picture, there might be times when work requires you push some extra hours. There might be some specific projects. But if it's an ongoing thing where it's a day-to-day routine that you're just doing because you're afraid of losing a job, well, that you need to understand, where's the defining line of priority within my work? And same with family. Where's there a priority within my family where I need to be there? And where can I get maybe somebody else in the family to help me out? So as you understand these priorities, you then can go to the third question to look at, and that is, where can I start setting some boundaries? Where can I start creating some rules for myself? Because you can't wait for other people to help set rules for you. This is up to you. And this is, again, where we have to deal with those limiting beliefs that may prevent us from creating these rules. For example, learning to say no. And it's how you say no. You don't have to just be aggressive about it, but to start saying no to certain areas in your life that you felt you were doing because you were people pleasing. To maybe have that courageous conversation with your boss and say, listen, I'm feeling burnout. How can we maybe strategize some support that I can get? I need to have some time with my family on weekends. I can't keep on working throughout the weekends. Those conversations might yield a series of solutions that might help you. And then what you do is you take the time that you save from creating those rules and you give that to yourself. Give it to yourself in many ways. You've probably heard this before, but it's about, even if you're just sitting in a bath with gentle music, with candles, or taking on some hobbies, doing some meditation, doing some stuff that you enjoy, and giving something back to yourself to build up that energy, that energetic bank account. Now, as I say, working with this, you might feel those limiting beliefs kicking in to say, I don't want to go and tell other people how I'm feeling because that'll show weakness. It is about taking this as something that is important for you. As I say, no one else is going to do it for you. And if you don't, you'll just carry on in this burnout stage. And it's going to really be detrimental to your mental health, your physical health. So yes, these are some ideas. If anybody else has ideas to share in terms of how they've worked with burnout, please share in the comments section. And I look forward to more questions coming in, so please send them to connect@dgt.co.za. And until I chat again, take care and stay aware.